Hey Hodies, welcome back to my channel. My name is hautemesstom and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today, we're just gonna put on some makeup. I've been not in like a bad mood, but I feel like my energy's been like a little bit low. I'm like not feeling 100%, but I'm not feeling the worst. And I guess my goal today is to use either makeup I haven't used in some time that like I really enjoy. Like it's about using things that are just going to make me very happy. But if you happen to be new here, hi, welcome. My channel is mostly about loving my makeup collection as it currently is, while being critical of new makeup releases and being just discerning about what I decide to review and bring into my makeup collection. So if that kind of content sounds good to you, I would love to have you subscribe. Make sure you like this video. And then I have two more optional things if you want to participate in either one of them. I have a Patreon. You can visit that at patreon.com/hautemesstom. And I post additional content there. It's like every patron gets the same stuff, no matter how much you pay. So it's just really a way to support my channel, but it's not required. Supporting my channel by watching and commenting and liking is plenty. I also have merch, which is like an additional way to support me, but you don't have to do that either. All right, I don't even have anything picked out. So I've run through several video ideas today, but like it's a little bit later. What did I do? How did I scratch? Do you see this? This has been plaguing me for about a week, and I'm not quite sure like what I did. Anyway, I repainted my nails last night while watching Survivor. No spoilers. I'm watching the current season, and TikTok figured out that I'm watching the current season and is really trying hard to spoil. And I'm trying to get caught up as fast as I can, but guess what? I'm very busy. I thought about doing a trial run of my makeup for Beyonce. I thought about talking about some stuff in my drawer that I think I'm ready to review. I was also thinking about doing Surat versus my collection. But then I was like, I'm not feeling that energy. The energy is not, it's not giving. Mint Money. This is Mint Money from Holo Taco. It's my favorite nail polish. It's like not, it's like my favorite, like not brand. It's just like, this is my gender. This nail polish is my gender. It comes in other colors. I really just like this. I don't even know what to call this finish. Like, it's like glitter, but it has pigment and it's not hard to work with. I love it. I think it does have a name on their website, but I don't know what that is. So I might start with complexion today. I'm not really quite sure where we're going. I always do a look with this that I really like. It's the same look every time, but I like it. So maybe we'll do that. And I haven't used this in a minute, so that sounds good to me. You know, if I had the wherewithal, I would have an overhead shot of my drawers right now while I'm doing this. But again, low energy. This is where we're at today. It's giving flase da. I really want to Diet Dr. Pepper, but as I discussed in my last video, it's like oftentimes I'll open a bevy and then I will like not touch the bevy. And it's like, it's not really lukewarm by the time I'm done filming, but it's like it's not like cracked and open a cold one, you know? I think I'm gonna use this foundation today. I'm trying to just use this up. But I like it, but it's also just like I'm ready to be done with it. When I tell you, like I used all of my spoons. I used all my spoons. I even posted on my story. I have conversations on Instagram with some people, and that's like the only way I talk to them, and I just like haven't been like feeling it. In fact, I'm pretty sure the only person that I've been talking to regularly has been my best friend Tiffany. Like that makes sense. That makes tracks, because I feel like even when you don't want to talk to someone or people, like you'll still talk to your best friend. But even then, maybe we'll transition. This is like a makeup therapy video. I think I just want to. It's not that I don't feel good. Like I feel like, you know, mine is this scratch on my face, which we really can't fix with makeup. Oh no, that was a Bobbi Brown vitamin enriched face base. I also pulled out this, which I guess I don't need anymore. I'm gonna let that sit on my skin while I do my eye makeup, only because I did my skincare a while ago, so I want to get some of the goodness of that while I'm doing something else. My nails are instantaneously when my nails are longer. It's this. It turns into the flashy nails. It's like this. Now, not that I don't do a lot of hand gestures otherwise. I especially do a lot of hand gestures when my nails are longer. But I can get my nails too long because then I won't be able to use the Dewdrop foundation. So we'll have to keep them filed low. Also, to those of you who use your natural nail and paint your nails, how do you shape your nails? Like, how do you do that effectively? I always think my nail shape is okay. And then I like look at them maybe 2 days later and I'm like, what was I on? Like, I pay attention when I'm doing it, but then it's just like I look at them and I'm like, that's certainly not any shape. I was helping Tiffany pack because when they move in, just helping them pack. They were having a bit of time, and so I was just like, yo, let me help you. Let me help you do things. So I helped them pack a little bit. And we're going to talk a little bit about body issues here. So if you're uncomfortable with that, I will leave a timestamp for you to jump to. I'm not going to be like too critical or too negative, but just like briefly touch on it. But so if you don't feel like you can take that on, feel free to jump ahead. So Tiffany was going through their clothes and they were getting rid of some of their clothing, and they like had stuff that was like too big and too small, but like most of it was like too big. And it's one of those things that like with your body, like whenever it comes to things like that, like you never know like what is going to make you feel some kind of way. And I think the act of helping someone, go through their clothes was really fun. Like it was really fun to see like things that Tiffany had like picked out in eras past. But I think I have gone through my clothes like that a number of times, and every time I do that, there's clothes that don't fit, and it's like one way or the other. And unfortunately, it's one of the things that I put on myself, right? And it's like, a long storied history with body stuff, which I'm not going to get too into here because I don't want to get like too heavy, but I think that like my truth is like this is why I've been like kind of feeling this way. You feel better whenever it's like you're getting rid of bigger clothes, but it's like almost feels devastating when you're getting rid of smaller clothes. And I'm not saying that I don't want to put value on my body in such a way. And I know that's like might be a little bit alarming for some of you to hear. Like I always talk about getting my body to the people, and I think like most days these days, I love and appreciate my body as like the vessel that carries me through this world. And I enjoy being here most of the time, and it's just one of those things though. It just like sneaks up on you sometimes. And I've been like living in this space with it. And it's like you can never talk yourself out of it. It doesn't matter. And I'm sure that some of you are going to leave very sweet comments. And that will feel good, but it won't help ultimately. And I mean that in a way like I know like someone could be like, oh, like your body's beautiful, whatever or whatever, and like I like cognitively I know that, but like societally it's been like ingrained in my body to feel bad about my size. And like most days I'm fine. Most days I conquer it. Most days I'm like, my body's amazing, great, stunning. The past couple days I've been like in the thick of it, kind of feeling it. I've like hated all of my clothes. I've had like, it's also so weird whenever you like get into these spirals. You want to do like only things that are not going to like be like beneficial to like, it's like all I want to do is like not do anything and just like eat a lot of food to make myself feel better. And then what will happen if I actually partake in that behavior is it'll make me feel very bad and upset, because it's like you're doing the exact opposite thing. And so just have been trying to get myself through that feeling. I don't think I'm doing the best job, but I'm trying. I'm out here trying. Like I was thinking about like the Beyonce concert, and I was like, I don't even like, I like in my brain I was like, I don't even look cute in my way. It was just like, but I do. And I know that. It's just been a thing. It's just been like a thing that I've been going through. And like, I have been looking at clothes, and like, normally looking at clothes doesn't bother me, but like, I have been running into this issue where like, I keep finding things that I would think I would enjoy wearing, but it like doesn't come in a size that I can wear. And like, that's a play a lot of people who have not straight size bodies run into quite a bit. And then what happens is also if you find something that maybe at one point did come in a size that you would fit into, it's always sold out because I feel like they don't manufacture as many. And also there are other amazing, wonderful people who are my size that want to wear the cute things that I want to wear. So it's like they got to it before me, and like, honestly, good for them. But I've just been like, I have like this, and this is, just like body dysmorphia at its core is like, I have like this vision of my body and it's like not it, but also like sometimes it is. I think there's also something like, going into the summer as a single person, I'm feeling like I'm like missing out on something, but it's like the flip side of that is that I don't want to date anybody. It's like not even close to being on my to-do list. So we're gonna move away from the previous conversation. And really, truly, whenever I'll open like a dating app for a second, and then I will immediately go, I don't want to be on here, and I'll be like, I hate this. Actually, I hate this, and like I know that I do, but like I don't know what I think I'm gonna get out of it, and like I don't. It's not that I don't think that I could date right now or that I'm not like ready to date, but like I think the real question would be like, how would I want to date? And what I mean by that is like, how, if I'm not going to meet people through apps, then how would I want to meet people? And the answer is no. Look at matches. I didn't do that on purpose, but let's pretend that I did. I would like points, please. Give me the points. I know that we've never worked on a points-based system on this channel, but I think I earned points, and I would like to know how many you've given me in the comment section down below. This is the mini Zendo from Natasha Denona. I used this one as like a transition, and then this one on like the outer corner going up into the crease, the green all over the lid. I use this shade to deepen the outer corner, and then I used a little bit of this on the inner corner, but it's not a super pigmented shade, but I do think I'm going to go in with the topper, but I don't know which one I would like to use. Would that one work? Maybe. Let's try it. I mean, I think it did something, but I also think it changed it from like green to more champagne. Oh, that's fine. It's not exactly what I was going for. I thought it would read more like this. These usually read more as a topper, but this one seemingly has some base pigment to it. I sometimes forget that I have those Charlotte Tilbury quads, and then I pull them out, and like I hate to say this because like I feel some kind of way about that brand, but like the eyeshadows kind of slap. I mean, I don't think that anyone needs to like run out and get them, but like I'm happy to have one, or two. I guess I have two of them, but the one is just these like pops, which is like a pop, a pop on my channel. No one saw that coming. Yeah, let's use some of the green color. Let's get into it. Speaking of Beyonce, I know we're a little far removed from me speaking about Beyonce, but I would like to circle back to it. The Swifties did this too, but I didn't really mind because I was like, whatever. I'm not really intending on going to a Taylor Swift concert, but like kind of vaguely interested. Like I love going to concerts, so it's like kind of fun to see people's, setups and stuff for their shows. I wish I could somehow tell the algorithm, it's like, I don't hate Beyonce, but I need you to stop showing me for a second, please. Actually, until I see it. And I promise you that whenever I do go, if you follow me on Instagram, I will say, like, if I start posting content from it, I'm going to say, like, Beyonce Formation World Tour. Not Formation. Nope. I already went to that one. Renaissance content coming up, because I just think that's nice. And I know why people post things and they get excited, but like, I don't want to see things. And I feel like what I have seen, I've been like really confused by. TikTok, please stop. Also, like I said earlier, I've been watching Survivor. I've been watching the current season. I'm not caught up, but like, I've been having a good time. And I had some people come for me when I started talking about Survivor on my Instagram. And I was like, I don't care if you don't watch Survivor. You don't have to watch Survivor. I'm going to talk about it, though. If anyone's watching this current season of Survivor, again, no spoilers. I'm not caught up. But I'm just going to tell everyone here. I'm going to say it again, because I don't want her to be forgotten. I mean, as far as I know, she's still playing. But I don't know. And I know that TikTok knows that I am a big fan of her, because it starts showing me content directly from her. And I had to scroll past it. I'm not following her yet. This happens every year when I watch any kind of reality show. When I watch the Great British Bake Off too, I try really hard not to like find them on Instagram, because they will typically show up, because like I'm always behind. On any live show, like any show that's airing live, I'm always behind. Like, so the Great British Bake Off, I'm always like at least 3 weeks behind, if not more, or if the whole season has already aired before I've even had a chance to even start it. And I don't want to know what happens. And normally it's not an issue, but like I always want to like look up their Instagrams and stuff while I'm watching, and you just can't do that because they're gonna their bio is gonna be like 6th place in the Great British Bake Off. You know, like it's always like I'm not done. Also, All Star 6 of Drag Race has started. I feel like we had like it's been a soft launch. It's been a soft launch. I feel like I haven't been surprised by anything that's happened so far. But also I'm hoping that like we get somewhere. And that's like not to be rude. I'm hoping that in some of the next episodes we start getting like pedal to the metal. Now, I don't really like surprise eliminations. I do like it to be a little more straightforward. And I know that's like an unpopular opinion, but I watch Survivor for that kind of content because Survivor, the game is supposed to be about, okay, let us, in this video, I found a passion and we're going to talk about it, and it has to do with reality television competition shows and how Drag Race is making a mistake doing it the way that they are currently doing it. So let's talk about Survivor. So if in case you've never watched Survivor, it's been a long time. First of all, the game has evolved a lot. If you've only watched the first couple seasons, there's a lot more to it because it's different now. Because much like on Drag Race, there are people who are competing who have now watched every season of Survivor, and like they've been watching it their whole lives. Like there are people who were like barely born or like have been born since who like are competing on Survivor now. Like they were not there for the initial Survivor. So they've been watching and they know what they're getting into. And not to say that the queens on Drag Race don't really know what they're getting into, but it's like a different thing. So Survivor, I think at face value, like when you don't watch it, you think you have to survive the elements, right? And I think that's like how we all pictured it when the show first came out. But like when you actually watch it, what it is like, how smart are you? And how smart are you as a person so how smart are you socially? How smart are you at puzzles? How smart are you at like reading the room? There's just like a lot to it that's like the true part of Survivor. And I think like a lot of people think that it's like, okay, they like compete and then they vote people off. But like the most exciting part of the show is not the competitions. It is when they are at camp and they are all talking and whispering to each other about who they're going to vote out. And I think credit to the editors that like they show like a bunch of different options, right? And like one thing I guess they could do, which it wouldn't really make a lot of sense narratively, but like they show you like all of the possible outcomes that could happen in that evening, right? So like we are the fourth wall and we kind of know everything, but like they don't tell us like what's going to happen until the very end of the episode when they decide who they vote off. But like they show you this group of people talking and that group of people talking, and then maybe there's one person who is in both of those groups who knows everything that's going on, but maybe those groups are secretly talking without that person about how they're going to vote that person off. But that's the game. The game isn't really about winning immunity. Like you do want to win the challenges, you want to win rewards or whatever. Also, side note, okay, I'm about halfway through the season, so they're about like halfway through the days they might be there if they make it all the way to the end. Some of them just won a reward where they got letters from their families. And I thought, and like our friends and families, like how, like, you know, whoever they're decided to get their letters from or whatever. Everyone's crying. And I was like, I don't know. I think I could go 30 days without talking. And that's like not to be rude, and I understand that these people are like now malnourished and like the only thing that they know is that they can't trust anyone, which is like, I don't know if they have any like therapy they go through after Survivor to like trust people again, but like I imagine that does a lot of damage to your psyche. In fact, I think I've heard people who have been on the show, it's like the way you operate in life is just like completely different after you're on Survivor. I imagine if you get out pretty early, it's probably not as big of a problem as if you get out later. Anyway, I'm just saying that I'm fairly certain that 2 weeks away, because that's how like it's been 15. They've been on the island for 15 days. And who knows how long they have been actually away from their family. Like I'm sure that it's not just like only 15 days. There was probably like travel days, and there was probably like some days where they like had to like learn some things to be there. But anyway, the whole game of Survivor is this, it's like this social aspect, and you have to be kind of fit, but also you don't need to be fit to win. In fact, there are a lot of people who like make it to the end who have won no challenges. But the thing is, you have to be smart in those social aspects to gain respect from your peers who ultimately vote who wins, right? And that's why this voting aspect works on Survivor, because everything you do has like there's like karma. There's like a karma situation that's happening with it. So like if you pull off a big move, right? If you're a part of this thing where you backdoor out someone who is like a threat and they have no idea what's coming, and then whenever Jeff's pulling out the ballots to see who voted for who, or not, like, I mean, I guess you don't really know. I mean, they don't know who voted for who, but like, you know, most of the time everyone has a pretty good idea, even like as it's happening. It's all part of how you like win. It's all like all of it is part of how you win. So like whether you were like a physical threat, if you get all the way to the end as a physical threat, people will be like, respect, you were very strong in the challenges. I'm gonna vote for you to win because you were really strong in the challenges, or like you were the person, you know, you were the person who managed to. And I think if I were ever on Survivor, which I've been like really jokingly being like, how under the influence would I have to be in order to apply for that show? Which I think the answer is I would have to not be me, and someone else would have to put my name. It would be very Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Like someone would have to put my name in the goblet. Like I didn't do it myself, but like someone else did. I think that's what happens in that book. It's been a long time. So if I got that wrong, please forgive me. But I think if I was on the show and I made it to the jury, which you have to make it to the jury, by the way, and that would be my minimum. That would be my goal. I just wanted to make it to the jury because you're there the whole time and you get to be clean and watch the dirty people vote each other off. And I think that would be fun. Like I just need to make it to merge. And I think I could do that, but I think I would be eliminated for like being like too social, because that feels like how I would be. Anyway, I would vote for her. Like if I was somehow backdoored, like if I was some kind of threat, and like people, like I didn't know I was getting kicked off and I didn't even realize that I was like, I would be like, respect whoever made that happen. And if they were in the final two, that's who I would vote for. And that's how I would play the game. Truly, honestly. I am just like going through the motions here. If you want to know anything that I'm wearing, it'll be down below in the like what's on my face. Back to my original, like I was doing a comparison between Survivor and like why I don't think that Drag Race should be using this. Because okay, so all that what happens on Drag Race is that it's like not really part of the game, and they all talk about like voting off the biggest threat. But the thing is, on that show, I mean, I don't know the community of Survivor very well, right? Like I don't know how heated people get or how mean people get, but all I know is that overall, the Drag Race fandom is relatively toxic, and you're putting these queens in a place specifically where they are eliminating each other, and if the queens can't see what's happening outside, which they can't because these are filmed a year in advance and like edited over time, like, okay, think about it this way. If you watched All Stars 2, there was no way that Alaska, and I was really mad about this when it happened, there was no way that Alaska could have predicted that Tatiana was going to be so much more liked overall than like Roxy was, and then like Alaska was just like saving her friend and not really thinking about like the ramifications on the other side of social media. And this is like a little bit before, but like that's just, and then like everyone gets mad at everyone all the time on Drag Race, so they're putting these queens in this precarious situation. And then they're like, I have this feeling that World of Wonder, which is like a production company for Drag Race, is sitting there going like, why aren't they creating like more dramatic, better television? It's because whenever you eliminate a fan favorite while you're on the show, everyone's mad at you, and like it really will be very nasty to you on social media. And I don't think that anyone should do that, but I think it's like you need to make the show more interesting without having the queens be the ones who chooses eliminated. But beyond that, they tried it in one season, but the thing was, it wasn't part of the. Okay, so in All Stars 3, they tried to do a jury of your peers situation, and that like blew up on production's face completely because we all know that Shangela should have been in the top 2 of All Stars 3, and the jury did not vote her in because it's never been part of the game where that like you vote someone off and then they would pick who the top 2 is, and they also did not have that information at the beginning of the game. But at Survivor, at the beginning of the game, you know if you make it so far, there's going to be a jury, and whenever you play the rest of the game, or when you play your whole game, you have to keep in mind that you have to get people at the end to vote for you. So you have to be like nice to some people or enough people and build a life. Like that's part of the game. That is not part of Drag Race, nor have they ever made it part of Drag Race. And whenever they tried to do that twist and put it in there, it didn't work because the queens didn't know that that was going to be part of it the whole time. It was like thrown at them just as it was thrown at us. And so maybe if they like knew that was going to be part of it, they would have played the game differently. Therefore, the structure of the game would have gone differently and people would have played differently. And so then maybe if you did eliminate a threat, it would be seen with more respect than not. And then that makes a more interesting television. Now, I'm not saying this is how I want Drag Race to work. Drag Race is supposed to be a talent-based show. And that's how they choose who's in the top and bottoms, right? The whole voting situation just like doesn't work on Drag Race. And I'm not saying that like okay. Broader, let's move out. So they did a whole season of Drag Race with the All-Stars winners. Like they did this whole season with the winners, okay? And they didn't eliminate anyone until like the last episode, and then half of them weren't able, like, anyway. So they tried that, and I actually really enjoyed that. I thought it was great. We got to see everyone throughout the whole season. We got to see everyone's talent, and I know that that style of reality television show is not going to be for everyone. But I do think that this All-Stars situation needs to be rethought. I think that what they should do is kind of run with the no eliminations thing, but I don't think it should be all season. I think if you have, let's say we have 12 queens. I think for 6 challenges, so 6 weeks of us watching, everyone stays. They do a points-based system, and then halfway through the season, if like people aren't to snuff, you lose the bottom half of the pack. But it gives everyone an opportunity to find their footing. That some people might flop for all 6 weeks, and I think that's okay. But like I think that like what we see in these All-Stars seasons is like some of these queens are queens who like didn't last very long on their original season, so they don't really have like their feet on the ground to begin with, and they're going up against people who made it all the way to the end, who like had more time to be comfortable with Drag Race and probably have worked with like this production company more so than the people who were eliminated early, so they have like better relationships. There's a lot to consider here. I just think there's like another way to do this that is still has eliminations and like still will keep people on their toes, but it isn't what Drag Race is currently doing, which I think is I don't think is the vibe. And you might disagree with me, and that's okay. But and if you are a Drag Race fan, what are your thoughts on All Stars? Do you feel similarly to me, like this, the way that they have the eliminations? I just think it's so strange that like in the All Star situation, like sort of the people who are competing get to choose who wins, but also not really, because like, you know, if like, you know, production can still control that, so then why not just like have RuPaul decide who goes home? And I think we've all kind of like this, I mean, maybe people disagree. Not that there haven't been great lip syncs for your legacy. The stakes are too low, and people are more likely to throw it because they don't want to have to make the decision about who goes home. And that definitely affects some people. And like, obviously I can't prove that, but I'm absolutely sure that there are queens who have won the challenge and who were like, you know what, I don't need this money I don't want to have to be the one who makes the call. Again, going back to like the perception on social media. And I'm sure that fans of Survivor have been like absolutely atrocious to some of those contestants, and I bet it's very similar to the contestants on Drag Race, where the players who are like BIPOC probably get more heat than the people who are not whenever they decide to make a big move and a big swing. But like, and there's gonna be those problems and everything, but I just think that like we shouldn't have, and I understand that Drag Race started as a satire of like all of the other reality competition shows, but I just think that they grabbed the wrong thing for the All-Stars. And it was really exciting the first time, and it's much like the lip sync for the crown situation. Is like, these things were really fun the first time, but they're not working anymore. They need to be reworked. And I know I'm not a Drag Race channel. Don't tell Jack Fed, don't tell the Drag Detective, leave them out of this. I'm trying to enjoy my peace over here. But I just feel like, I just think that something needs reworked. And here's something that's happening. And if you happen to be the person who is texting me right now, I don't want you to take offense to this because you're not the only one who does this. When people just text me my name, period, I need you to give me whatever's supposed to come after that in the same text. Or have it ready to copied and pasted, ready to go. Because I sit in anxiety after people are like, Tom. I'm like, yeah? What can I do for you? What's going on? What's your deal? What's your damage? What's happening? And then she proceeded to tell me just something that was, I mean, very funny. I know I didn't laugh on camera, but it was like a fun thing that I would have loved to have received. But I didn't think it needed to be preceded with my name in a very serious tone. We were just playing a game of where's my Fix Plus? It's on the floor. Because of course it is. But it's funny. Okay, so going back to like, it's funny that I'm like running to reality TV for comfort because I actually don't find, it's like not something that I take great comfort in. And what I mean by that is that me watching Survivor makes my heart race. And you can't watch Survivor with a favorite because you never, like, you truly never, like, I know all the people that I think are attractive aren't going to make it to the end because, you know, unfortunately for me, for some reason, I'm very attracted to like very masculine men, like from the get go, right? Like I'm not only attracted to super masculine men, but like you see some like 6'4" man with abs running down the beach during this, and like they don't look as malnourished as the other people as the time progresses, and it's like, you're certainly nice to look at, and I would like to keep looking at you. And they always get eliminated. They normally make it to the merge, but then they normally end up in the jury. So if you like a show with twists and turns that you like don't understand what's going to happen, Survivor. Let me just say, there are so many immunity idols at play at any given time. There's advantages that people keep it in secrets. It's, you know, it's just, you know, I guess if you've played Among Us but have never watched Survivor, watch Survivor. That is Among Us. On a beach far away from other people. It's mafia. I mean, well, it's not really like mafia, but it's like, I mean, you're voting people out. It's like a whole thing. It's a whole to-do. If easily dismissed Survivor in the past, I think it's time to revisit. I don't watch it every season. I'm gonna go with Coco. You know, and go with what I know. Because I'm like, you know, like a space. So I'm gonna do what I know. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna kind of doing some damage control. I'm gonna go back into the shade and kind of take it around that really dark line I just made. See, it's happening. It's happening on my face right now, where it's just like everything's going okay, but then it's like, oh, here's the thing. I really hate what just happened. And then I think I'm gonna go back into. I still need to clean my brushes. I still haven't gotten to it. I'm gonna go back into that like this shade, this one, and I'm gonna take that from the inner corner. And you know, I was gonna take my lip in one direction, but I think I'm gonna go with a darker lip now. Anyway, I'm gonna apply my mascara, but let me make one recommendation. Even if you don't like Taylor Swift, but if you haven't touched down on Cruel Summer, if you haven't, may I just point you in that direction? Because that song is a banger. Certified banger. Like, so good. Like, undeniably so good. Natasha Denona. Anyway, are you a Taylor Swift fan? And if so, what era are you a fan of? And what era do you judge other people who listen to Taylor Swift for liking? I was, you know, in all of that stuff I was talking about Tiffany earlier, they gave me a dress. And if I do happen to end up finding myself at the Eras tour, it'll be what I wear. Do you want to see it? Here it is. It's cute. I'm living. The thing is, aesthetically, I'm probably more of like a Midnight's girly. But like, I don't know, it's maybe not bright enough for Lover era. So maybe I am living my truth. So I want to thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Here's the final look done. Thank you for letting me just like vibe and talk about Survivor and the problems with Drag Race and not really makeup today. Although I was putting on makeup. Did you learn anything about makeup? No. Did you learn my favorite nail polish? Yes. And you also know that I have this dress. I got my red dress. I'm gonna wrap it up. If you happen to have been new here today and you stuck around to the end, props to you, mama. But my videos normally have a little more of a centralized focus than this. I just needed this one. And I hope you enjoyed the ride. But the next video that I post will be the Surratt versus my makeup collection video. I've decided, just ran out of steam for recording this week. But that one will be fun and more about makeup. Anyway, if you liked the video, and again, I'm on patreon.com if you'd like to support me there. There's no pressure to. And that's that. Merch, that's a thing. Kackie and I just recorded another episode of our podcast. It will be up when it's up. And patrons, I have a video recorded. I just needed to edit it. And it might be up before this video that you see right now. But if it's not, it's there. It's there. It's recorded. It just needs to be edited. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Remember to follow your heart and you will find me. And I will see you in a video very, very soon. Bye-bye. Hooray!